Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you'll continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Welcome to Community Matters. Today we're talking about the future of jobs. And of course, technology plays a significant role in the jobs that are on the horizon, as well as the jobs that are going away. Joining us to talk about what this could mean to you is Dr. Robert Schrag, Professor of Communications at North Carolina State University. And welcome to the show, Doctor. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Well, you've been at State for quite a while, 36 years?
Yes. And when I first got there, I was hired to teach radio, television, and film, which is what we used to call it in the old days.
Sure.
Now, of course, it's new technology and everything internet related. So that too has changed.
Have you been amazed by where you started, technologically speaking, to where we are today?
It is inconceivable. I was looking around the studio as I walked in, and I can't find anything in the studio except maybe the chair you're sitting in that was as large as the cameras that we used to use to make television. And now we're being shot on things that look like the little 35 millimeter cameras that we used to use. So yeah, it's incredible.
Now, what about the students that you teach? And of course, this kind of industry is kind of a tough industry to get into anyway, but as you prepare them to, once they get the diploma and walk across the stage, what advice, how do you direct them to make the most of that diploma?
Well, I think the issue is that you have to realize that they come to media or new technology with the perspective of a consumer. They have grown up. Well, you walk through the grocery store now and you see little kids in the carts playing with their parents' iPads while they shop. They've grown up with that notion of being a consumer. They need to learn to look at the other side of the screen and what it takes to actually begin to create those messages that they hope to spend their life creating in a changing technology that will change as much for them as it's changed for me.
You know, I've read many articles about the upcoming AI, artificial intelligence and robots, and we're all going to be out of work, Doctor. That's what I'm reading. I'm hoping you're here to tell me that isn't true, that people will have to adapt, of course, as we always have.
Well, I think you're right, that it's a marketing tool right now. It's sort of like you look at gluten-free milk and you go, well, yeah, milk has always been gluten-free, and now everything is smart. Last week I had the experience of being told you need to change your furnace filters, so I went down to the local store to get new furnace filters, and I was about to put it in my cart, and I saw it was $60 for a furnace filter, and I'm going, that can't be right. But in the middle of the package there was a little disc and instructions under it. And the instructions told me how to pair that disc to an app on my phone so that the filter could tell me when it was dirty. And they said, this is a smart filter. I said, no, it's an idiot savant. It can tell me one thing. It can, I'm dirty, please change me. It can't say, I'm dirty, please change me. Oh, and by the way, your house is burning down. So this smart technology does little slices of our world. The algorithms do little bits of stuff. We have to tell it what to do, and I think we'll be doing that for a long time yet.
That's good news for all of us. It really is. Now, for the students starting off, they're gun ho. They want to get into get their job in rock and roll. I mean, what kind of changes are they going to be faced with and challenges? No one likes to change. I mean, I don't. I mean, I like the end result usually, but yeah. I hate changing. I mean, what advice do you have for students?
I think they need to keep, well, a couple of things. In one of the courses that I've been teaching for a long time, they have to actually apply for a real job. So they have to go out and look at online, of course, now for jobs, real jobs that are available. And of course they all want, well, I would like to have my own show on ESPN, or I would like, I said,
too.
well, yeah, well, let's look at the steps that lead up to that. And so they go out and they look at the requirements and they see, oh, I'm going to have to be able to use this kind of technology, to manipulate this kind of software, to do these kinds of things. And hopefully they do that, excuse me, in their sophomore or junior year, so they can then come back to the university and choose with some better notion of reality. Don't need that course, don't need that, oh, really do need this course, so that they generate the skills and begin to generate the contacts that will allow them to walk off the stage and into a job, as opposed to walk off the stage and go, so like, what do I do with this, you know?
And that happens more often than not, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, yes.
Give me something from a personal perspective. You've been doing this for 36 years, so you've helped students along the way. Have any come back? Have you had a chance to kind of reflect on, well, look what's happened to this individual?
Yes, and that's the delight of what I do. I mean, the downside is looking at the kid in the back row who doesn't think that you can see them using their phone. But the upside is the student who comes back and says, you know, I knew I had to change, and I knew that I had to start at the bottom and work my way up. And I wanted to thank you for that insight, because I started at the bottom, but now I'm here and I'm really enjoying it. And so we've had students who have been very successful in the entertainment industry, very successful on the media production side of it, intellectual property lawyers. And so, yeah, they come back and say, I was your student 25 years ago. And I go, of course I remember you.
You're very good. Should be a politician. That's very good.
So yeah, that's a real upside. And they keep me tuned into what's happening in that world. I mean, I have to read about it every day because of the courses I teach, but I don't have the time, the money. The university can't build me a new thing every time it comes out. So to hear them talk about, here's what's out there now and here's what we can do, and hopefully here's what your current students can come and do with us. You know, that's a good one.
I get the sense that a lot of the concerns you may have had 36 years ago, or students did, are probably the same today. Would that be a fair
No, I think
statement?
you're absolutely right. I mean, we go to the university with the expectation of it being a step along the way and a place to think about issues we might not think about, entertain thoughts that might not be comfortable, but now we can think about them, and gather the tools that I need to go out and make a life for myself in a world that I'm interested in.
Doctor, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, we'll be right back, and we'll talk about the growing need for skilled labor in the workforce, so stay with us.